You can easily miss out on some amazing weapons in Starfield if you don't pick the right choices. So I will tell you everything you need to know and point you in the direction of some important side missions that can already be done really early on and give some amazing guns, like the suppressed, the calibrated XM2311. Yes, this one is amazing for stealth, can easily pick off enemies one by one with a headshot, and even if hell breaks loose, it can still get the job done. So really nice to get. For this you want to go to the Porima system and then to Porima 2, and if you go here for the first time, you will get the first contact mission. I want to be as spoiler free as possible, of course, so at one point you will have to pick one of three choices. 1 and 2 give you the gun, while 3 does not, so keep that in mind. I went with the grav drive solution, paid the money for it, which was 25,000 after persuading, so that's quite a lot, although the other one takes way longer, so I personally suggest going for this one. Install it and then the captain will be thankful and you get this amazing gun. Maybe it's a bit vague, but if you do the mission, you will totally understand what I mean. You can, by the way, also get a non-suppressed version if you got the theft rank 4, which I told you how to easily get in my OP early video. A link to that in the video description. I really enjoyed stealing here. You can also get an upgraded Old Earth shotgun that totally packs a punch and just steal a lot of ammo for these weapons, which will totally come in handy. I'll be back with an amazing missable melee blade and other guns, but first, Dennis, you got a really cool high-tech pistol and a legendary sniper, so take it away.
Thanks, Jordan. If you're looking for a stealthy weapon with a bit more range, then you want to grab the Despondent Assassin. This legendary rifle is a variant of the Old Earth hunting rifle, so just like that weapon, it comes with a built-in silencer and scope. So that by itself is already pretty great, but the Assassin also comes with 2 perks that are a perfect fit for this weapon. Hitman increases your damage by 15% while aiming, which is great on a sniper rifle, and the anti-personnel perk also increases your damage against human targets by 10%. So if you aim at a human target and hit, you're already dealing 25% more damage to a target than you would with a regular version of this weapon. And on top of that, it also comes with the high-powered mod that further increases the damage, so yeah, when it comes to snipers, it doesn't get much better than this. And the best part is, you can get this weapon pretty early by heading to Aquila in the Cheyenne system and following the questline that starts with defensive measures. When you walk into the city, turn left after walking past the general store and you'll meet Davis. Just talk to him to start the questline, at the end of which you'll have to wait for 24 hours for the next quest called False Positives to become available, so just sleep to make the time pass quicker. Wait or sleep another 24 hours after completing that quest to receive the final mission, Leader of the Pack, and at the end of that one, you'll be handed the Despondent Assassin. Before we move on to a weapon that you can actually miss, if you've enjoyed the video so far, be sure to leave a like, and there are more Starfield tips and tricks videos coming your way, so subscribe to make sure that you don't miss them. Now, like I said, the next weapon is missable if you don't know what you're doing, like me during my first playthrough. But I'm happy I went back to grab the amazing Ember pistol after reading this comment from Reap, so thanks for letting us know. It's a well-rounded and very powerful weapon with surprisingly good accuracy, meaning you can hit targets from pretty far away. And while the mods you get on this weapon may vary, one thing all variants of the Ember have in common is that they come with ignition beams, which means that when you hit an enemy, they instantly catch fire and start taking damage over time. So while some weapons have a perk that grants them a chance to do elemental damage, the Ember just triggers this effect guaranteed on every shot. So a really nice weapon to grab, and to do that we need to join up with Ryujin Industries. You do that by accepting a job at one of the red Ryujin terminals. If you have trouble finding one, we have a detailed explanation in our faction rewards video that you can find in the video description. Then complete the first 7 quests, which are pretty short, until you reach the one called Top Secrets. Then, as part of that Top Secrets mission, we need to head to Sidonia on Mars and talk to this NPC called Simon, who, during your conversation with him, will mention a side job he has for you and you want to take him up on that offer. This has you chasing down a bounty hunter in Saturn's orbit, so in the same system, and she's actually the owner of this Ember pistol. Well, previous owner of course, as I was able to talk my way on board her ship and kill her there, but I assume killing the engines and boarding the ship should also work. Either way, after defeating her, you can loot the Ember from her body and now it's yours to keep.
You cannot miss out on this next weapon, but you do have to know where you can get it. And yes, you already see it, it's an upgraded micro gun. I told you about the one you can steal in my Amazing Things You Want to Get Early video. Yes, we got a ton of Starfield content up. Link to those will also be in the video description. Now, but this N67 Smart Gun variant is better because it breaks through even the strongest armor with the Shattering perk. So if you, like me, love the regular micro gun you can steal, buy this one from the New Atlantis Commercial District. Run straight like this, and you will see the UC distribution building. You can buy it here from the lady, and you won't regret it.
There is of course also that minigun you get from the UC Vanguard quest Hostile Intelligence. Again, link to our video on all faction quest rewards will be in the video description. If you're looking for a weapon that's a bit more conservative with ammo, but still very powerful, then there's a unique variant of the Orion laser rifle that is very much worth getting. It's a legendary weapon too, meaning it comes with 3 perks. Now, Frenzy doesn't actually seem to trigger for me. If you figured out what it does, let me know in the comments, but the chance to deal radioactive damage is pretty nice. This status effect deals damage over time to an enemy and also makes them flee for the duration. But the thing that makes this single shot rifle an absolute killer is the instigating perk, which makes it deal double damage against targets with full health. So a headshot against an unaware target deals massive damage, but even in open combat, most enemies die in 1 or 2 shots of this amazing weapon. And perhaps unsurprising, there are also tons of amazing mods on this weapon, including the stealth lasers that make the weapon, well, more stealthy, and the recon laser sight that marks enemies while aiming at them. Now, this weapon actually comes as part of a choice you need to make, so I'll let Jordan talk you through how that works, and of course also talk about the other amazing weapon you can get.
Thanks, Dennis. Yes, I've been rocking this legendary beam rifle that just one-shots most enemies, and it's very satisfying to do this from the third-person view. It also has the skip shot perk, where every 4th shot fires 2 projectiles at the cost of 1 ammo, which is nice. Now, there is a downside, which the hand loading perk. It for one makes the regular shots pack a bigger punch, so deal more damage, and also leaves this pretty cool mark on the wall, for example. But sometimes, like very rarely, this doesn't happen. And you also see this reflected in the combat, where you sometimes just do like 50% less damage, but then just shoot the target again to finish the job. I'm using it a lot on humans because it excels in that. I love the recon laser sight for tagging the enemies, so a really fun rifle to use, and the reload animation is pretty special too. And I heard a lot of people ask for melee weapons. Now, I have not been able to find many unique ones, so with set perks and a dedicated name that only that weapon has, but there is the Lost Priest that totally can get the job done. 62 base damage without spending any skill points in dueling, so if you like unlock that and rank it up, then the damage can go even higher. So the footage that you see here is not even the full power, but I was still able to easily clear a full mission with this weapon. And the perk on it is just a nice extra, because sometimes an attack can deal corrosive, radiation, poison, and incendiary damage, so you will then out of nowhere see the enemy catch fire after a hit, which is quite funny, but in my experience, it doesn't trigger as much as you would hope. Now, the sad part is that you cannot have these 3 amazing weapons in your inventory at once. You'll have to make choices that lead to 2 of these or only 1 of them. So I want to tell you what you need to know, but for that, I have to go into a bit of the main story spoilers. Of course, I will be as fake as possible, but still, if you don't want to know anything, come back later, like around the unearthed main mission, you can come back. You're still here? So at one point during that unearthed main story mission, you will have 3 choices. Go with the hunter, the emissary, or neither of them. If you go with the emissary, you get the powerful unmitigated violence that Dennis told you about after you kill the final boss. You can also persuade that final boss, but don't do that, because they will not only miss out on a really cool boss fight, but also miss out on these weapons. If you go with the hunter, you can get the Eternity's Gate rival if you kill the final boss, and the hunter also gives you a side quest called Infinity's End, which is an optional mission, but if you do it, you get that awesome Lost Priest melee weapon, so totally go for it. Now, the third choice is to go for neither the hunter nor the emissary, and then you can get both legendary weapons after killing the final boss, but not the Lost Priest melee weapon. And of course, a reminder that you cannot take these weapons into New Game Plus, sadly, so make a save after getting them, and then you can just do a ton of side content with these guns. Of course, subscribe for way more Starfield videos like this. A like on the video would really help me out, and check out our previous video with more legendary weapons, a free ship, and way more things you don't want to miss by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.